Hi there, crafters. In this video, we'll learn how to create events in Craft's calendar. Warning, it's really easy. Before you start, you'll want to get your Craft account set up if you haven't already. If you have, or once you have, just log into Craft, and you'll see the areas that you have access to in the left-hand column. Click Calendar to open the calendar. You'll automatically see this month's calendar and all the events that have already been entered, both on your calendar and on other people's. Before you enter an event, make sure that someone else hasn't already entered it. You can scroll through the months using the arrow keys up here in the top right-hand corner. Once you've checked that out, you can create a new event by clicking the New Event button up here in the top right corner. Heads up, if you have access to more than one calendar, for example, maybe you can edit the academics calendar and the general events calendar, be sure to click the arrow at the right-hand side of the button. This lets you choose which calendar you're creating the event in. Be sure you do this because if you don't, the event will show up in the earliest alphabetical calendar by default. So in this case, it would show up in academics by default. Again, though, you only have to do this if you administer more than one calendar. Next, let's enter the event information. Enter the event's title and choose a start date and an end date and a time of day. If you have an event that lasts all day, just click All Day up here. These are the only required fields, but please fill in as many details as you can so that people will have a better idea what your event is about. The recurring schedule here is for when you have an event that is not an all-day event but does happen more than once. You can use the recurring schedule to specify the dates that the event will recur. You can say repeat every 3 days, start on 4/26. You can either choose an end date or after 4 occurrences. Now, we're not going to do that for this event, but that's just a look at how you do that. Event location. Clicking the Event Location button brings up a list of buildings on the OKCU campus. Choose the location where your event will take place. Here's a tip. You can use the search function to find your event location up here. But be aware that the search function needs full words to find locations. So if I were looking for stadium and I just typed in the first few letters, I wouldn't get any results. But if I type in all of stadium, I see my stadium options. Please use this feature. Choosing an event location means your participants will be able to map their position and find the correct building on campus, even if they've never been here before. This is a huge improvement over our last calendar, and it's something we definitely want people to be able to do. If you're hosting an event off campus, web services can add an off-campus location for you. Just email webmaster@okcu.edu, and we'll be happy to help with that. Your specific location is room number, building, entrance, etc. So let's say north entrance. Next, if your event requires a registration form, you can embed the form in your event listing if you have the right code to do it. Or you can also just link to the form if it's hosted on an external website. This registration field right here is for if you're linking to an external form. The text you enter in this field is the text that will show up on that button. So, for example, let's put register here. This is what it would look like on the finished page. The text you enter is going to be what's inside this button right here. And if you click there, it will take you to the registration page. The URL is for if you have an external form. The form embed is if you have code to embed your form. And if you need clarification on any of this, please feel free to contact web services. We are, again, at webmaster@okcu.edu. body text, this works the same as all the other body text fields in Craft. You can upload photos for events here if you want to, just like you would anywhere else. You can enter text and assign it headings. You can format text however you like. Now this custom repeat text field here, this is if your event is on a recurring schedule, and you could customize the text that says so here, the text that describes it. If you leave the field blank, it will be fine. It will just result in a functional but weirdly phrased message from the system. So once you're done entering your event, you want to click the Enabled button up here. It's a little toggle, and if it's green here, that means that it is on and it is enabled. An important note, depending on how wide your screen is, this little area will be either at the top right, or see, if it's a narrower screen, it'll appear down here at the bottom. So go ahead and save. And that's it. Your event has now been published. If you need to update or delete it at any time, you can do so in Craft, the same way you went about putting it in the first place. Hey, there's our test event. Kind of dull, but we do have everything here. That's it. If you have any questions, please contact us at webmaster@okcu.edu. Thanks very much.